this video I'm going to be taking a look at a new plugin from WavesFactory. It's called Equalizer. It is not a graphic equalizer as you would expect. It's a kind of a spectral balancing tool in the same sort of vein as Voxengo, Teote or Sound Theory Gullfoss. But to my ears actually I think it's a little bit more musical than those, and it allows you to sculpt the sound it's a bit more powerful in that regard in terms of sound sculpting. So I have a track here where I've put it across everything on the track. So acoustic guitar, finger picked, vocal, hi-hat, kick drum and piano. And what I'll do is, once I have shown you what it sounds like on the individual elements, I'll bypass it globally and you can hear a global A-B. So I'll start off with the finger picked acoustic guitar and let you hear what that sounds like. So that's it bypassed. Push it a little bit. Let you hear that in the context of the mix.
Many times she's watching it all. So many times.
And in terms of the controls here, you can kind of carve out what you want it to affect and what you don't want it to affect. So if, say I don't want it to affect the very lows, I can carve out that. If I want it to affect these sort of lows to low mids a bit more, I can carve them out more. Resizable. If I wanted to carve out the highs less, I can carve them out. I can also tilt it so it's affecting the highs more than the lows, and then the opposite. Obviously you can hear there it's raising the noise floor a little bit when you push the highs. Also delta the attack and the boost. So you can hear what it's adding or cutting. So the finger picked acoustic guitar in that track I didn't have nails at the time, so, well, I had nails, but they weren't long nails. So I was picking with my fingertips, which makes them a little bit more boomy. And it's just sort of cleaning up the guitar and giving it a bit more attack. Presence without making it sound too harsh.
She rolls the window down.
So we'll
the rhythm of the ground.
take the vocal here.
She doesn't make a sound. She sees the world is going down. She's watching it all pass her by. She's seen it all so many
of act as a de-esser.
She's watching it all pass her by. She's seen it all so many times.
It's quite a sibilant recording, so I've got the UAD de-esser at the start of the chain, and I've got soothe after equalizer just to kind of TM anything that it might be boosting. But to be honest, it's not really boosting the harshness.
She rolls the window down,
It's not exaggerating the harshness.
feels the rhythm of the ground. She doesn't make a sound. She sees the world is going round. She's found a way home. She's found a way home.
Again, it's just
Found a way
brought that vocal forward.
home. She's found a way home.
So this mix was sort of dark, and I found that this plugin has really helped open it up. So let's try the hi-hat and see what it does. I don't think it's quite as obvious on the hi-hat, to be honest. So yeah, not quite as obvious on a hi-hat. You may need to adjust the attack and the release times. For certain material.
Pass her by.
Bit more obvious on the kick drum. Tightened it up a little bit.
found a way home. She's found a way home.
Could also put it in
She's found a way
as a
home.
master effect, but maybe a little bit too extreme for that.
Window down. She doesn't make a sound.
Or if you were going to use it for that, you would want it to be very subtle.
Going down. She's watching it all pass her by. She's seen it all so many times. She's watching it all pass her by. She's seen it all. She rolls the window down, feels the rhythm of the ground. She doesn't make a sound. She sees the world is going round. She's found a way home. She's found a way home. She's found a way.
So I think you could definitely use it in a mastering context with
She's
the
found
right amount, the right mix, the right cuts, the right push. You can obviously take it so that it doesn't affect the very lows there. Or say I wanted it only to affect these parts and not affect the highs. I could try that.
pass her by.
With the aim of trying to get the spectral balance and tonal balance control a bit more level. Though I don't necessarily trust tonal balance control here. Better to trust your ears.
She rolls the window down, feels the rhythm of the ground. She doesn't make a sound. She sees the world is going round. She's found a way
Okay.
home.
What I'll do is I'll link all of these channels and we'll do a global A/B.
She's found a way home. She's found a way home.
Okay. So when the track restarts, I'll start A/Bing. So when these go grey, then all of these will be bypassed. So yeah, hopefully that's given you an idea of what this plugin can sound like. I'm going to unlink these channels and then just take a look here and see what the latency information is like. So the latency being added on these tracks is from Oak Sound Spiff, and Pulsar Moo is adding a little bit of latency, and the Vertigo Sound VSC4 is adding a little bit of latency, but Spectre and Equalizer, both from WavesFactory, are not adding any latency, so you could totally track through them in real time. And that's something that, let's see, Gullfoss can't. Even the Gullfoss Live, I think it adds maybe 2 milliseconds. So 1.4 milliseconds from Gullfoss Live, and Tote might be 0 latency. Yep, Tote 0 latency. But I think probably Tote has a higher CPU load, especially when you have add more bands. I think compared to Tote, Equalizer probably it's a bit more versatile, and definitely more versatile than Gullfoss, I think. Though they all are very good sounding plugins and have their uses for sure. But Equalizer is one that I can see myself using a lot. Spectre There's another plugin from WavesFactory which has become a go-to of mine. I picked it up on Black Friday, and just being able to sort of pick different saturation for different bands and kind of dial in the sound. It allows you to place things where you want them in the mix quite easily. One thing I would like to see in an update for this though is auto soloing of bands, so when you're adjusting the band that you only hear that band or what it's doing. At the minute you can get around that by like boosting it very high. You can hear what it's doing and then find the frequency and then bring it down. But yeah, fantastic plugin, and I think Equalizer is another really great plugin. So Track Spacer is another one from them that's very useful. But yeah, hopefully you find that video helpful and interesting, and the sound example is good, and I will be back with more videos soon, hopefully. Cheers.